Do you think that making content for YouTube, making content for social media is for young people, for those who want to be influencers, for those who want to overshare about their lives just for the sake of vanity, and that you are too old, or maybe you think that you don't have anything to share, and that's the whole reason you haven't started making content? Well, let me tell you, you're going to have to think that twice. And this whole episode of Content Sancocho is going to be out for those who are over 40, like you, and want to start making content for either YouTube or social media. And I hope that after you watch this episode of Content Sancocho, that you feel empowered to start making content. And here with me is Steven.
How's it going, everyone? How are you doing? Glad to be here, Veronica.
So let's start with this misconception, or maybe these thoughts that you may be having about creating content. Social media has evolved, is not a place where people only share things about their lives. It has become this place for connection, for creating a community, also a place for commerce. Anything that you see these days, the majority of things that you see these days are people trying to grow their communities, and also to sell whatever it is that they're selling, their services, their products. So content has become this powerful way to do marketing that creates a community, that educates your audience, and also allows you to maybe if you have a business, to funnel more people into your business, to sell more of your offers, and also to grow a following and grow your authority and grow your influence online, which is a way to, I would say, future proof you and future proof your business. If you're not creating content, I would highly recommend that you do it and that you start this year, and we can help you with that. And that's the whole reason we're here.
Yes, 2025 is your year. No more excuses or no more waiting. You don't want to get to 2026 and another year has passed and you still have this curiosity about what would have happened if you started creating content, building influence for yourself online. You can definitely see the value in it. So I think that there's so many insecurities, so many reasons to get caught up on not creating content, including our age, how we look on camera. Are we actors? Are we attractive enough? Are we young? Are we muscular enough? Nobody's gonna relate to me. Actually, it's quite the contrary. I think that the more unique that you are, the more you have the ability to stand out online. So
Yeah. And we were there where you are, to share a little bit of our story. We started making content a few years ago. We decided to just jump on YouTube and started making videos and recording our podcast. And at the beginning of our journey, like, there were a lot of people around us who were like, what are you doing? Like, it seems like, it was like didn't know what we were doing. Like, it was a waste of time. I was coming from a background in law, from working on my 9 to 5. Steven had a whole career, and we just decided to start growing our influence online. And that's how we got to build a business, the business that we're building right now, and the influence that we have built here on YouTube. So definitely when we started, wasn't easy. We had a lot of insecurities, and people around us, our families, were wondering what we were doing. We were wondering that too. Didn't get a lot of support, but we had each other. Maybe you're alone, you don't have your significant other right there with you, supporting you in this endeavor. So you kind of have to find that community, other creators that are doing what you want to do, so you don't get stuck, so you get started. And this can be your community, or it can be your people. I mean, really,
I mean, come
Yeah.
on. Here we are.
We can definitely be your people. And Steven is over 40. I'm not.
Excuse me?
So this is for him.
I don't know what she's talking about.
We are over 40. We have kids. We are parents of 3 beautiful children.
We have
and
grandpa pecas.
we
We have skin imperfections.
so we get it. We know where you are, but I can guarantee you that the most of the creators that you are following right now, they're over 42, and you don't question the way they look, and you don't question what they're sharing. You just follow them because of the value that they're providing to your life. And I made a list. I mean, there are so many creators here on YouTube that are over 40 that I also follow. And one of those is Andrew Huberman, who he's been this kind of phenomenon in video podcasting, and he launched his show back in 2020 or 2021, and now he has 6.4 million subscribers here on YouTube, and he is 49 years old, and he's a neuroscientist, and he's also a professor of Stanford. So there's no shame on starting a YouTube channel and sharing your expertise and sharing what you've learned and all the knowledge that you have accumulated for years. And with that, contribute to not just your community around you, not just your students, to a lot of people, millions and millions of people out there that can benefit from what you have to share, which is the case of Andrew Huberman, how he everything that he teaches, or all the people that he interviews, is just about learning how we work as humans, our brains, our bodies, and how we can optimize so we can live a better life, and that makes it so it appeals to a bigger audience than just his students. So I think that's a remarkable example. Another example is Mel Robbins, which I'm pretty much obsessed with that woman and her drive and her work ethic. And she's also on YouTube, and her channel has 3.2 million subscribers, and she's a life coach, and she's also an author, a speaker, and um, she's, I think, in her 50s. Yeah, 55, 50 something. And
Uh-huh.
that woman has, she's a force to be reckoned with. Nothing is going to stop her from reaching the people that she wants to reach and the lives that she wants to change. And she's doing it here on YouTube, and she's also doing it with her podcast. She's also on social media. She has a big following on Instagram and TikTok. So
Yeah, and I think that she's a perfect example of starting where you're at and starting messy and not caring too much about the details of the production. When you look at the way that her podcast started, it was didn't look very good production-wise, and then you look at where it's at now. It's amazing. She has all of the bells and whistles in a row, or all the ducks in a row, not the bells and whistles. And she's also got a really great production team working with her, which likely could just be a few really high-performing, talented individuals that are helping her with her distribution and the editing of her content. She also uses a really cool distribution strategy on YouTube that anyone can take advantage of. But the point is that when we're dreaming or when we're approaching a new idea, like starting a podcast, starting a YouTube channel, starting to make videos for social media, it's that we need to reduce the overwhelm as much as we can. We need to reduce the overthinking and just get started where we're at. And I think that Mel Robbins is a perfect example of that. You just have to get started, start making episodes, start getting dirty, getting your hands dirty on YouTube, and then you'll start incrementally adding upgrades to your show, to your message, to your topic. You can even change the name of your show. We get so hung up on all these things that in the grand scheme of things don't really matter. The real secret to everyone's success is the fact that they just got started.
exactly. And just to mention a few things with this examples. When I have 2 more examples, if you're thinking, oh, this is for life coaches or business coaches that is suitable for them to start making content because their businesses are online, or whatever it is that some people may think. We also have the Pasta Queen, which we discovered last night, and she's a chef and she's a mom, and she records all of these TikTok videos with her son and with her daughter, and she's just cooking and sharing her passion for Italian food. And is she has, like, I think is 3 million followers on TikTok, and she has 1 million subscribers on YouTube. So also, if you're thinking, okay, I don't really feel like sharing anything in my professional life, I want to keep that separate. Well, what are your hobbies? What are you so passionate and interested in that you can spend, hours and hours researching and working on something, some kind of art, or something that lights you up inside that you will love to share with that community and with people? That can be also something that you can use to make content about. And
Yeah, and also what are your dream destinations? Content can also be a way for us to get to where we want to get to. It's the most human thing that we want to evolve, that we want to become better, self-improvement, any dreams that we have financially, dreams that we have in terms of where we want to travel, who the ideal person is that we want to become. Your content can actually be a vehicle for you to become that person, because you can, with your own curiosity and leaning into the discomfort of change, it's much like working out will sculpt your body if you're consistent with it. Well, if you step in front of a camera and in front of a microphone, even though you're horribly awkward and you feel rigid and you don't know if you should read a teleprompter or if you should just try to memorize line by line or if you should go live, and if you just go through that discomfort over and over again, you'll get somewhere really incredible.
Yeah. Content, when is created strategically, brings attention, and attention brings wealth. If we look at all of these examples, it's just a numbers game. At the beginning of your journey as a content creator, of course, you're going to have to go through the pains of starting from zero. We all started from zero. They started from zero. And you also will have to invest some money in equipment, invest some money maybe in coaching, because you want to start the right way and you want to hit the ground running and have all the strategy put in place so you don't waste any of your time. So you may have to invest some money in that. But it's a compounding investment. Is something that over time will build a following for you, will build a number of subscribers for you, and anything that you would do would translate into money. Like, for example, if you decide that you want to do affiliate marketing, then when your channel hits 100,000 subscribers, 200,000, 500,000, then the more the numbers, the more money that you will get through affiliate marketing, the more leads that you will generate for your business, the more products you will sell, the more sponsorships and partnerships that you will get. Also, everything, because of your content, because one day you decided that you were going to start maybe a video podcast, or that you were going to start posting videos on YouTube about your expertise, and that you were going to do it um, religiously every week, that you will be consistent with your content, and that you were not going to stop. And then the investment that you make in this regard will build your influence and will bring more attention to you. And attention is wealth. And you can ask all of these people. I don't know how many things I have bought from Andrew Hooverman that he recommends, or or Mel Robbins, sweaters.
I can't handle any more
her
supplements.
books.
And on that topic, I'd like to interrupt you, Veronica, with a little bit of a introductory segment here, where we can actually say hi to our audience, because we haven't done that yet. And the perfect opportunity for that would be from possibly Spectrum here. She says, I am almost 60 and I'm thinking about it seriously. By that, creating
Love
content.
it.
And I feel like I'm 40. So let's respond to that. And what thoughts do you have with being 60, feeling about it, or, you know, really seriously thinking about it?
Well, you have a great advantage, and we're going to get to that. All of the advantages that we have when we're more mature. We have a breadth of experiences and skills, and also we have the confidence. Because we have lived a life of ups and downs, and we can just, you know, share that with all of the confidence, because you know of the age that we're in. And something happens after 40, you just stop giving an F, and you look at your life and you're like, okay, I've been giving too much of an F, and I just want to be me. I want to be me. I want to do me. And also there's this feeling of like, okay, I'm just gonna go all in, because you know, I don't want to say it, but you know, the clock is ticking. Like, I'm not in my 20s anymore, and I have to go for what I want, and I have to go for it aggressively. Like, we have big goals for ourselves, for our company this year, and we're gonna go all in on those goals, just because we have a certain amount of time here on Earth, and you know, we can buy more time. Not even Jeff Bezos can do that, or or Elon Musk.
Well, I mean, a little bit if you look at like the supplements and the,
Well,
you know.
yeah, but you know, one day we're gonna die,
Yeah,
and
we can extend our time.
we can extend our time if we, you know, if we have if we live a healthy lifestyle. But we have a limited time here on Earth. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And we have to make the most of it. And if you want something, like just sitting on that thought, sitting on that dream, and not acting upon that dream and desire, then it's going to delay the process more. It's going to delay the outcome. Like, you're not going to know if this is your thing if you don't jump and do it. So my advice to you, and honey, you say that, you know, like you're 60 but you feel like 40, you have all the energy. So let's just, you know, jump into it and start. Let's do it.
Let's jump in before you're ready.
Yes.
And you know, for
And
that
I'm
we
so
have
glad you're here.
all sorts of good advice and for your specific situation. So if you have any questions, let us know right here while you're tuning in. First off, what's your name? I know on YouTube it's possibly Spectrum, but what is your name? And tell us where you're tuning in from. And also, everyone else that's watching, tell us where you're tuning in from. We're here to answer your questions. We like to kind of break up our presentational material into, we, you know, give our presentational material, and then we break up and answer questions every so often. Really, the funnest part about the live streams here for me is getting the chance to interact and get to know you a little bit. So let us know your name, where you're tuning in from, if you've already started creating content, you're struggling with that, what your big hurdles are, your big roadblocks are. We're here to really help 2025 be the year that you just start creating content. It doesn't have to be that big of a deal. It doesn't have to, you know, we're not thinking about when you get famous and when you get those 500,000 subscribers like Veronica's talking about, and all of the opportunities that come. They will come. But first, the first thing you're gonna do is just have fun with your first 10 to 12 videos or episodes. And just take the next 3 months. We're gonna take from January, February, March, and just see if you can put out 10, 12 episodes or videos during that period of time. There is gonna be some learning curve. You're gonna have to figure out how to record the content, how to edit the content, all of that. But you just start simple, start with where you're at, start with really simple edits. You could start with going live. Our favorite way, of course, to start creating content is podcasting. Whether it's an audio only podcast, that's perfect for the especially timid or shy. After that, a video podcast is really the premium king of content, because you can do a video podcast live. Of course, it has all the opportunities of networking built into it. Once you have a slick looking podcast cover, you'd be amazed at people who will come onto your show. Very easy now with all the technology to record remotely with any of these big wigs in your industry or people that you're just interested in connecting with. I mean, that's a huge opportunity right there. And then, you know, you can be very minimal editing, keep it live, keep it raw, when you can afford it, when it's in your budget, when you're ready to upgrade. get yourself hooked up with an incredible editor, and once you get an editor and some support on your production team, you'll realize, oh, wow, this is amazing. Especially high-performing editors, as we call them, or the editors that we train in our programs, the Video Podcast EditLab, which, by the way, if you're also looking to start a side hustle or build a career working online, you want to ditch your job and actually start working creatively on your own terms on something that's fulfilling projects, check out podcastingsmart.com/editlab. We should really get a better URL for that, but that's the URL right now. Of course, you'll find out tons of information about that. You can also go to our website, pss.media, to learn about all of our programs.
Yes. Then another example I have for you, and this is my last example, and I think this is an important one, because if you're thinking, well, my business, the main way that I get leads my way, or that I get and find clients, is by word of mouth. And one way that you can future-proof your business is, once again, by start making content and start reaching out to a bigger audience. And an example of this is Jeff Rose, and he's a certified financial planner, and he has a YouTube channel of 300,000, almost 400,000 subscribers here on YouTube, and he just gives financial advice to people here on YouTube, and he has an offer that suits the audience on YouTube. So, as when you relied on just one way of getting your leads, it's a very important and advisable thing to do, to find other ways for you to reach a bigger audience and to funnel people through content marketing.
You're also talking about future proofing. So Veronica hit on legacy. Veronica, you're just pulling out all of the big ones. Also, I just want to mention, if you heard a little squishy fart noise, it didn't come from one of our bodies. I've been trying to program in this board
or our kids.
The right sounds. I do have a couple farts loaded in here, and I haven't renamed them. So I'm trying to I'm trying to play a music sound, and I wind up giving you a squishy fart. So I apologize for that. But Veronica hit on legacy, right? She's hitting on all the big reasons to get going. But you could tie in with legacy, especially with the oncoming tidal wave of AI that we're all facing. Future proofing, right? And future proofing your business. So if you're thinking in terms of business, or building a business that is going to have sustainability over the long run, regardless of what happens in the market, many businesses right now are in a full-blown crisis, quite legitimately, because their entire model was built on advertising. Many, specifically Facebook ads, have now the landscape's completely changed. They're not as effective as they once were. They're not as affordable as they once were. And also, it seems as though the general population is just becoming less and less patient for advertisements, and authenticity and connecting with someone through means of content and consuming their content is how we like to make purchase decisions. Veronica already mentioned all the stuff that we've bought due to Andrew Huberman and Mel Robbins. Now, we just went on a road trip and caught every cold in the world, which you might hear in our voice. But you saw on the road trip, we weren't even relying on Google anymore to decide where to eat, because you actually find better restaurants if you just go straight to TikTok. And so some influencers on TikTok who are foodies and who like to go around and try food, and they have a passion for food. They're making a name for themselves. They have millions of followers, and if they have the right strategy built in, those millions of followers can really become very lucrative in terms of financial gain. But again, future proofing. And think about all the money that companies do spend in advertising and for those clicks, right? And all clicks are not created equal. If you're not familiar with sales terms like cold leads or warm leads, kind of refers to a cold lead as someone who's never seen you before. They're very cold. You have to gain their trust a little bit. They have to decide whether or not they like you, and then they become a warm lead. Then you can kind of start appealing to their emotion, and once you do, that's when they will make an emotional decision to purchase something from you, or just be an ambassador and just spread the word about you to everyone else. So all of these things are just so critical. If you need a push, if you're not sure if you should be creating content, regardless of your age or your self-esteem or any of that, you just need to get into it and rely on your curiosity. And instead of asking how, ask what if. What if, just run some experiments. And like I said, don't think about 3 years, think about 12 weeks and just make an agreement with yourself. I'm going to try this for 12 weeks. That's sort of something we've implemented ourselves, inspired by the book, The 12-Week Year, which was a bestseller. Maybe you've bumped into it, but it encourages or suggests the whole philosophy of that book, that you, instead of planning your whole year with your team or with yourself, instead to plan 12 weeks at a time and consider that your year. Sort of plan your 12 weeks. At the end of the 12 weeks, kind of collect data, see how things went, and then plan accordingly for your next 12 weeks, the next things that you're going to try to implement. And that would also be a great time after you get 10 episodes on a podcast player, or 10 videos on YouTube, or 20 short videos put on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at the same time. Because hey, it's as easy as just popping the same video on all those platforms. After that, then you could collect data. What worked? What didn't? What did you enjoy the most? What did you hate? And then you can decide, okay, well, here's my goals for the next 10. Here's what I can afford for my next upgrade. And in this way, we reduce the overwhelm, we reduce the dreaming, I like to say, and increase the doing. So there's my 2 cents on all of that.
Yes, I love that. And so YouTube and social media is not just for those who are young, it's for those who have something to share, and for those who really want to reach a bigger audience. And why not taking advantage of these platforms where they are there for you to use, not just as a consumer, but as a creator, and also, take advantage of all of the traffic that these platforms get, and you can do it for free. You don't have to pay anything to the platforms. The type of content that we're talking about here is content that is organic, content that is not paid. You don't have to pay the platforms. It's not an ad. Is content that you make because you have something to share, because you want to share your expertise, your experiences. And we already touched on the advantages that you have for being over 40. Like, you have, your credibility is already established, because chances are you already have an education, you have credentials, you have something to show your audience that you are qualified to be talking about what you're talking about. You have life experiences, you've been through ups and downs. Also, I already mentioned, like, we have this thing that when we hit 40, we're just really striving for authenticity and just show up as ourselves. And at that point, we know who we are, or at least we have a hint we know what we like, we know what we don't like, and we have more confidence when it comes to addressing an audience and showing up the way that we are. There's also this community building aspect that if you're over 40, you can tap into. There's a lot of us out there over 40 really trying to find mentors, to find role models, to find information, to find people that are doing what we want to do, and you can be that person for the community of people who are over 40.
Yes, so with that, then the real takeaway, I think, here is your age is your superpower, not your limitation.
Not your limitation, exactly. So now that we have covered all these things, let's just dismantle some of maybe the beliefs that you may be having when it comes to that are stopping you from starting making content. And the first one is that I'm not a tech savvy. Maybe I'm in my 50s, my 60s. I have no idea how to record content. I have no idea, what cameras to get or what kind of microphones to get. And if you have a smartphone, you can start right now. Like that is your way.
It's true.
Yeah, that's how we dismantle that I am not a tech savvy. You can use your smartphone to make videos. You connect your smartphone to your laptop and do a live stream. There are all these different ways that you can record content that doesn't necessarily mean that you will have to learn how to um, use a camera that has complicated settings and things like that. But you can also learn. I would say that we spend a lot of time, we waste a lot of time doing things that are not even teaching us anything. And you can learn how to use a camera, how to find the right microphone for your situation. We can learn different skills and things that we can use to make our content. So the I am not a tech savvy. We can really get over that one.
Yeah, we could just cross that
We can
right
just
off the
cross that
list.
right off. You can start right now with your smartphone and you'll be good to go.
Yeah, and that learning, lifelong learning, keeps the brain fresh, keeps the activity going on, the neuroplasticity. So those frustrations, the discomfort.
And you have learned words. Like
yeah,
you have,
come on. I mean, let's say this,
you've been through some shit.
I
And the I don't have the time is another one. And I completely relate to that one. It seems like right now there's just all of us are busy. We're busy. We don't have time for anything. It seems like there's a lot to do. There's a lot to consume. There's so many options and so many things to do.
And we're never going to have the time.
And yeah, but
we don't have the time to be doing this right now.
Yeah, we don't have. We can be downstairs. What should we be doing instead?
Well, actually, I mean, we do have that.
This is a good excuse for us to be
I'm just saying,
away from our children.
I'm saying it would be really easy for us to say that we don't have the time to do this. It'd be very
exactly.
easy.
But if you dedicate 1 hour a week to make your content and to post that content to YouTube, I can guarantee you that you will see some progress happening. And you just have to dedicate an hour. And also, I want you to kind of like forget this idea of perfection, or that things have to look in a certain way, or that they have to be in a certain way. I want you to start experimenting right now. Like today is a Saturday. I am going to maybe place my phone here on my desk. If you don't have a holder, then you can just get creative and just start talking. And if you feel like, oh, okay, if I see myself talking to the camera, then I just get shut down. I can't do it. Then just ask people, somebody around you that's there with you, to ask you a question, and then you can just answer the question. You don't even need to be looking at the camera. Just answer a bunch of questions, and then when you have that, you can post that on social media. You can post that on YouTube. That is one of the strategies that somebody used in their marketing team for their CEO, because obviously, Mr. CEO doesn't want to sit down and record in front of the camera because he feels like he's too shy, or he doesn't want to do it that way. So what they do is that they place a camera where he's not looking, and then they ask them questions, and that's how they record the content for the company to go on LinkedIn. He's not even looking at the camera, and those videos perform very well because he's a very knowledgeable person who has all of this experience of growing businesses, and sharing that with an audience on LinkedIn is so valuable. So they do it that way. So there are certain tricks and things that you can apply to get you over that reluctance, being reluctant to record content.
Yes.
So I don't have time, just sit down and talk. Then another limiting belief is that I don't have a big personality or niche. And then for this, uh, the whole idea of you start making content and posting content is not for you to go viral. Is not for you to become the next Kardashian. Like you can make very you can make good money, you can bring leads to your business, you can do whatever it is that you want to do with your content, and with not even going viral, as you just posting consistently and showing up consistently for your audience. You don't have to go viral, you don't have to look in a certain way or hit certain numbers. What we are looking to do here is to grow a following and subscribers over time, so you can hit the goals that you have, whether it's to grow a community or to bring more leads to and more eyes to your business, or whatever it is that is your or are your goals.
Yeah, and I think this is a really big one. And again, it goes down to like one of our biggest insecurities. And that's just, I'm not good enough. There's something like defective about me, or really that people aren't going to enjoy my personality or niche. You see, every exception to this rule, people who are not the actor types, extreme introverts actually sometimes make for the best content creators. And also, people who have very soft voices, or they don't feel very outspoken, best people to be creating content. As weird as it is, your most unique self, the things that you feel most insecure about, those are actually your superpowers. They really are. That's the beautiful thing about content creation. You can find different ways, different strategies, and different approaches to lean into all of this. So we have the three big limiting beliefs here that Veronica's been trying to debunk. And I wanted to put this like debunk music sound with each one of them. The first one is, I'm not tech savvy. And then the second one, start simple. I don't have the time. And then
just
also
1 hour a week.
Yeah, and I don't have a big personality or niche. And so really, the whole thing is just to start simple. And then if you are really struggling, see who you have that can help you. Many of us do have Gen Zs in our lives that can really easily help us.
Yeah.
And then I love the tip that Veronica gave us as far as like the interview style thing. There's been many times, even with Veronica and myself, where we just get to talking, and I just wish that there was a way we could have been recording in those moments. And Veronica herself struggles a lot with the insecurity of her accent and saying things perfectly on camera, and getting the right takes and saying things the way they should be said. And I don't really make that much better for her when we're working together, because I'm kind of also very uptight about things being said right and pronounced right, and oh, you didn't say that right. And all of that really kind of hinders on her real personality coming through onto camera. And so that's been a struggle for her, and also for myself, and you don't get as much of your own personality coming out. And that's why that tip is so great. And we've had a lot of really fun content where Veronica will sit in front of the camera, and instead of her reading a teleprompter or trying to remember what she's supposed to say or follow an outline, which can be overwhelming, and for some reason once the camera's in record, all of the anxieties pop up. Instead, I ask her questions from behind the camera. Hey, can you tell me about this? And then she gets going, and we have really good footage. And then as far as the tech stuff, okay, we have really good footage. And I did record myself on my phone, like you suggested, Veronica. But now what do I do with this stuff on my phone? Like this video that I recorded on my phone is 15 minutes. If I had a nice editor who could cut that 15 minutes up into a few different pieces, that would be great. And even if you don't, technology they know that we're all tech savvy, we're all tech challenged. So all of these amazing companies, amazing apps and solutions are there to help you with that. Namely, the big person there, the big app there is ChatGPT, which if you haven't gotten into that yet, that's going to be your greatest companion, can help you with anything tech related, script related, brainstorming, market research. You just have this amazing assistant there at your disposal. But then other solutions like Descript is a wonderful app to start with. I love Descript for beginners because it allows you to edit content like you would a document, a Word document. And so you could just cut out lines that you didn't like and it will cut it out in the timeline. It also has a magic button that you press called Studio Sound, and it applies this AI sort of technology, Studio Sound, to your whole voice, which includes things like noise reduction, compression, and EQ. So your voice sounds like a podcast voice with one button. Never before in terms of recording and creating video and audio content has ever been so easy for the creators. I just think back, if you think when the beginnings of digital video and how not only poor quality those things were, but man, all the hoops you had to jump around just to be able to edit something. Then you go back even a little bit farther than that, and you get into the VHS tapes, and where you used to have to sync up VCRs together and press play on 4 of them and have a switcher to, we're really lucky that we live in the time that we do. And, it doesn't matter your age, 50, 60, 70, it doesn't matter. You can easily do this stuff. And you can also easily find people to help you, including us. We're here to help you if you don't have anyone in your life. So make sure to reach out. I haven't seen any more comments or any more ideas here. What's going on? If you have any ideas, let us know. We're here to answer your questions. And back to you.
Oh, back to me. So you're ready to get started making content. I have you convinced. So I have a 5-point framework for you. I wish I could have done it in 3, but no, it's 5. So go ahead and get your notes out. We're gonna get started with this. But yeah, if you have any comments, if you have any questions, like this is your opportunity to share those.
Yes.
Right here.
Yes, and we're here every Saturday. The time is fluctuating right now. As I said, we're all getting back from our holidays, so we went a little later in the afternoon. We haven't settled on a real time, but this is something we'll be doing every Saturday with increasing levels of upgrades as well. So the same things, we're starting imperfectly. I'm accidentally letting fart sounds play. We've had every number of technical issues you can have in a live stream. We've gotten a lot of those out of the way. The little bit of hair I have left is falling out very quickly with this, but it's just so fun too and invigorating. So make sure to keep coming around every Saturday, and we will get more consistent with the time. We have talked about bringing guests on, adding more segments, even more visuals and things to really increase the learning. And then of course, I think we're thinking about splitting some of these live streams up into little digestible videos that we'll be leaving on our channel. And then of course we have short media and weekly or bi-weekly videos that come out on our channel too. So we're here to consistently be your guinea pigs in our own journey of learning how to use the tech better, how to get better at being our most authentic selves on camera, how to not whack the lavalier microphone when you're talking, and all of those things, so that we can kind of be there for you to show you that it's not as scary as you think. And we're all just people, and actually the more you kind of make those mistakes and show your character, much like in a film, when we really learn who a character is when they're under tension. And tension is what makes a good movie, right? So actually, if you're having a little temper tantrum about the content creation, record that shit. Get your temper tantrum on camera, because that people would like to see that. It humanizes you, and it also kind of shows you who you are, and it gives you an ability and the opportunity to grow. It's a really growth opportunity.
Yeah. So ready for your actionable framework to start creating content?
I'm ready.
Step 1, define your why. And here I want you to ask 2 questions. What are the things that I love to talk about? And the second question is, how can I bring value to people? So these are very important questions. The first one is about you. What do you love to talk about? What gets you going? What gets you excited? And it's important because you're going to be making content about this skills or topic or subject for many months and years to come. So it's important that you love it, that you find joy in talking about this topic. And then the second one is, how can you bring value to people? And that's the other side of the equation is where this two things meet. It's not only, I love to talk about beans and how to prepare beans and how to, the certain type of beans and the history of beans and all that. Is like, how can I bring value to people with this thing that I want to talk about? And that will give you the direction, and that will give you the angle of how you will approach things. So for example, if it's about beans, is like, how can you make your beans taste better, or how can you make your beans more nutritious, or how, because then you're thinking about how you can add value to somebody else's life. And that's pretty much the mixture, or the formula to create great content is
I love that
something
you
that
brought
you
up,
love
yeah,
with
beans
something.
with that.
The beans, because
It's always the beans.
it's always the beans, because Steven is obsessed with beans, and apparently the way that we cook beans in Colombia is not the right way.
I'm not saying it's
The
not
lactates
the,
and
it's not the
lactites
right way. There's no wrong or right
there's no
way,
wrong
I
or right.
mean. But yes, but the why with the beans, if you, it's like, well, I love beans, then you could just say, well, why do you love beans? And that's pretty much your why. Well, because actually people don't realize the beans are tremendously healthy, that they help with things like depression and mood and hormone regulation and all that stuff. And I would really just like to share my passion for beans, but also all of the different ways of different types of cooking that goes into it. And then, yeah, also, how to reduce flatulence of by a certain way of preparing your beans before you cook them. But
step 2 of the framework is to choose your platform, and we recommend YouTube. That's the platform that we're in. In my opinion and our experience, is what's going to give you the bigger bang for your buck. Just because the way that YouTube is built, just because YouTube is a search engine with millions and millions of people on this platform consuming content, billions every minute and every hour. So because it's so big and so powerful when it comes to recommending content, matching content with users, then that's the platform that we recommend the most. But you can, post your content on Instagram. You can post your content on TikTok. The main thing is for you to post your content when your audience, people who are interested in beans, will be at.
Back to the beans again.
Back to the beans.
I love it.
Number 3 is start simple. I already mentioned this, and I'm bringing it up again because I'm one of those. If I have a goal, I'm like, okay, let's go to Amazon and let's just have a list of things I'm going to buy. And then they're going to be like way too complicated for me to get started. So they become just this pile of things that I just look at, and nothing gets done. So we do a lot of that, just mainly is because we're afraid this is something new, and we put like obstacles and things in our way, and we want things in a certain way. And like, even if we have big goals, even, let's say that we've been watching Andrew Huberman, and we want our podcast to look at like Andrew Huberman's podcast. If you don't have the resources to hire people to help you produce your podcast that way, then that doesn't mean that you have to wait until you have the financial resources to hire people to help you with your podcast. I bet he started with just one person helping him. So
actually, no, and I because of a recent video we just made that's coming out tomorrow about how to start your podcast. It's our big how to start your podcast video that we release every year. I looked at Andrew Huberman's first videos, and it was him. It was just him, and very awkward. He didn't really how awkward can you be when you're good at speaking because you're a Stanford professor? So he had that going for him. Much like, when we got started with things, I had my audio production, video production going for us. And so we had a little, but you have something going for you. And yeah, so instead it's start simple and start right now. And if anything, like, you're not even allowed to order any equipment until you put out a couple videos or episodes with your phone. Or with whatever gear you have. Actually, the internal microphone on most of our laptops are very impressive. If you use Descript and the internal microphone on your laptop, I've done a lot of experiments. Actually, our full YouTube videos for an experiment I've just recorded on my internal laptop microphone. And I have $3,000, $4,000 microphones, world-class preamps, audio interfaces, and I was very surprised by a phone and by the internal microphone on our laptops. So it's almost like you're not allowed to get gear. Don't go to Amazon. Use the camera on your laptop and the microphone on your laptop. Use your phone, get a webcam, make a few pieces of content, and then it's like, oh, okay, now I can graduate and now I can upgrade. Also, when you're looking at those influencers that you respect and that you admire, creators that you love, don't look at their recent videos right now. You're not allowed to. You need to go back, and that's another thing that's cool about YouTube is you can filter by recency. So you can filter by the oldest videos on someone's channel. Go back to the very oldest content that they make. That's what your content is supposed to look like right now. We're no exception to that. Go back and look at our oldest videos. And that's what awkward, rigid, and as weird as it is, that awkwardness is still, when we look back at if you look at our best performing video on our channel, really responsible for the growth of our YouTube channel is really this one video. Veronica and I were super awkward. We were even kind of tense with each other, maybe a little argumentative. She was interrupting me a lot. We hadn't done it a lot as one of our first videos on the channel. And that interaction, that tension between us, and the fact that we were awkward in front of the camera is really what made people respond so well to that video. It brought up a lot of curiosity about who are these people? Are they together? Are they an item? We saw all sorts of those kind of comments in that video. So it's weird, but like you're already really limiting yourself and your opportunities by not just posting today.
Yeah.
So that's your challenge. And it's like, don't wait until you unbox that thing. Well, I can't start creating content yet because the 6 boxes that got here last month from Amazon, I still have to learn how to use that stuff. Those are roadblocks. Those are obstacles that you're putting in your way. I am famous for that. I do that with every piece of equipment. Like every microphone and camera has to be the best. That's like totally me, putting things in front of just being my authentic self. And so, I don't want you to do that.
Now, if you like quality and you want to, you know, start making content with a very nice camera, something that looks like this, then, and you have the financial resources, you have a budget for your project, and you can enlist the help of people that will help you move that process along quicker. And you don't have to figure things out on your own. They can help you and support you with all of the technical stuff and all of the strategy for your show and all that. By no means, like, don't stop yourself from investing in launching a show like that. But if the financial resources, the fear of investing in something is keeping you from starting, then definitely just start with what you have around you and start testing the waters. Maybe you're not sure if this is your thing. And I can guarantee you, once you start getting those first views, once you start getting those comments on your videos, on your episodes, it will ignite you and it will put all your worries at ease. And that at that point, you'll be ready to invest more in your studio, to invest more in training, in coaching and mentorship and all that.
Yes. And
So, number 4 is commit to consistency, and that builds on keeping things simple, because we have careers, we have kids, we have busy lives, and the way that we can keep a consistent schedule is for you to have things that are accessible to you, for you to have a setup, a camera that is ready for you to record, equipment that is within your grasp to manage and to set and to throw into record very quickly. So it builds upon keeping things simple. And consistency is what's going to bring you the results that you want faster. If you can post once a week or maybe like more than once a week, then you will see that compounding effect of posting on a platform, or showing up for your people consistently. If you post, like, let's say every month, like, or when you feel like it, and we have experienced that with our podcast Content Jefe, because we haven't put the love that we want to put into our podcast, because we're busy running a business and we're busy like growing this channel. Like, you can see the difference between a channel that has 100,000, almost 100,000 subscribers, to a channel that it hasn't grown as fast. So consistency is the key for you to build your authority, for you to build trust with your audience, and also to grow on the platforms. And the last one, number 5, is to engage with your audience. When we start creating content, it seems like it's just one way. It's just you talking, it's just you sharing, it's just sending things one way. But the quicker you realize that that is a two-way street, that you post something, that you get feedback, or that you add, call to actions, and you ask questions on your episodes, on your videos, that you seek that interaction from your audience, and then you get a response. That is just it fuels you as a creator, and also to have that feedback from your audience to keep making your content even better is so valuable. So that's number 5, is just to keep engaging with your audience, to reply to comments, and to make sure that it's a two-way street when it comes to you making the content and getting the feedback and getting reactions from people.
Transition, and that is the perfect transition into engaging with our audience. We have Joe
Yes.
Sumo, who asked, how can you keep your audience engaged if you do not have an explosive personality, or when you don't have an explosive personality? This goes back to the exact what we were talking about with our limiting beliefs, where one of the limiting beliefs was, I don't have a big personality. And so what suggestions do you have for Joe?
So we don't. I am not a very animated person either. But I totally like. I can totally relate to where you are at right now. I think the most important thing for you to do is to be okay with the fact that you don't have an explosive personality, or that you're not um, going to be loud or laughing or bubbly, that you are just who you are. And um, that a thing that I would encourage you to do is, because sometimes we think that people want us in a certain way, and there are so many people, and like billions of people, like Steven said, on YouTube, that have different taste, and they may not like people who are like too bubbly or too loud, or too, they like somebody who can um, talk at a slow cadence, and be more, have an energy that is calming, that is not so hyper. I don't remember her name, but there's a creator here on YouTube, and she talks even slower than me, and you could not look away. And it's so refreshing, and her channel is big. I think is going to hit the 1 million subscribers soon, and it's because she's so different. When I would say, like, the majority of us get on YouTube, and you see that, the creator screaming at the camera, and just like, and cutting and jumping, and just like in your face. But you see this person like so calm and collected, and her whole thing is uh, for her not to stress, for her and her audience just to take things, uh, little by little, not to rush or not to hurry to do things. It's just this calm and peaceful place where people can go and learn. And she teaches different things about marketing, about social media, but showing up in a way that is peaceful and kind of slow down. And if you have this in you, I think that your content will perform very well. Just don't change anything. Absolutely not. Just show up as you are. That was a long answer.
It was wonderful, and I really love that. I think that I agree. And again, your uniqueness, your awkwardness can be your superpower. And
there's a place for all of us. There really is. And a mistake that I made is just to think that I had to show up as, you know, a certain person, or like that I have to be in a certain way, talk in a certain way, that it wasn't true to me, that it wasn't me, and it's exhausting. And once again, we're here to make things easy for you. And if it means that you have to be something that you're not, it's going to be very hard for you to make content in the long run. So it's better just to embrace the things that make you different and just go for it.
Yes, I totally agree with that. And we have a comment in Spanish, and my Spanish is pretty horrible, but I'll do my best. It's from, actually, it doesn't look like your name, but if you could tell us your name, where she is tuning in from Ecuador, and it's really incredible. She says to see us live. Gracias a ti ya estoy creando mi podcast.
Yeah.
Gracias, te encontré ayer. Ya me
Qué rico.
suscribí. So let us know your name.
From where?
Ecuador.
Ecuador.
Sí. So thank you
Vecinos.
for giving me an excuse to practice my Spanish, because I need a lot of practice.
So that was my 5-step framework. I don't know if we want to go over the steps once again.
Let's say the steps again, but maybe I can give you a weird filter on your voice to say it. Try this one.
Okay, so step 1, define your why. Step 2, choose a platform. Step 3, start simple. Step 4, be consistent. And step 5, engage with your audience.
I loved it, and I also loved that effect on your voice. I think I need an effect on my voice too. Feels good.
So to sum things up and to just kind of have a heartfelt closing of this part of the live stream, don't let your age hold you back from starting something that you've been dreaming about starting. I think your age is your advantage because of all of the experience that you've had and all of the valuable skills and professional or personal experiences that you have to share. So don't let your age to be something that will stop you from starting. You have a voice and you have this calling of sharing what do you want to share. So go ahead, go for it. Don't let your age being something that will stop you from starting.
And with that, we would like to invite you to our first ever workshop. Veronica has a lot to tell you about it. It's actually happening on Tuesday.
Yes. So my workshop is a live workshop. It's a challenge. It's called Planet Right. And it starts this upcoming Tuesday, January 7. It's 3 days. So it's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And the whole reason for this challenge is to get people to get started with a video podcast. So if you're interested in starting here on YouTube, and video podcasting is something that is calling you, you've been watching other creators and you're ready to start, this challenge is for you. And the whole reason for this challenge is because I want you to start with the right mindset and with the right strategy when it comes to YouTube. Posting things on YouTube without having a strategy, without understanding how YouTube works, without understanding what people clicks on, what is going to help you grow, it's a waste of time, and it's going to
It can be very frustrating.
It can be very frustrating, and it's going to delay your goals, and is going to delay your progress and how much you want to grow. So it's important to understand certain things. What makes a good show? What kind of production do you need to make a show that it's good and that people will like? And um, so hopefully you can attend this live challenge. I have a general admission for the challenge is $97, and the general admission will give you access to the teaching that I'm going to be doing, the strategy that we're going to be sharing, and that will be an hour, so 3 hours. You will have access to these 3 hours is a live challenge, so um, you can attend the challenge live, and it's noon Eastern time. Did I say that? Eastern.
Eastern time. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I get confused with Pacific because we were not Pacific, but anyway,
Yeah.
noon Eastern time on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and it goes from noon to 1. But if you want to have the VIP admission, that one is $197 and will give you access to an extra hour of a VIP group, which will allow you to ask us questions about anything related to the production of your show. Stephen and I will be there, and it's from 11 to noon, and then you can stay for the teaching portion of the challenge, which is noon to 1 p.m. During that VIP time that you will have with us, like I mentioned, you can ask us questions about, the technical stuff, the gear that you need, maybe questions about your topic or the different angles that you can take with your show, or anything that it's in your mind or that you're curious about before you launch your show. Um, then you also get access to our community in Kajabi, and it's a private community for creators. And then there you will have access to other people attending the challenge, which is very useful when it comes to networking and asking questions and getting feedback and all that stuff that comes with being in a community with other creators.
Yes, it's going to be really fun.
Mhm.
A lot of fun energy, a lot of motivation, and some incredible strategy that we are very popular for, and things that have real world things that have worked with our clients. We've seen actual growth happen immediately upon applying some of these techniques and strategies that we're going to be sharing with you. Quite a bit of mindset as well. And then, like I said, the VIP group, very exciting. That's a face-to-face situation where we can look at your specific, unique situation and help you. We're your coaches. You found us. Here we are. And every great creator has one thing in common. They have people helping them. You need a coach. You need a mentor. You need someone in your corner. Like I said, we want to fast forward you beyond the frustrations of just kind of like willy-nilly going for it on YouTube. It's really
Willy-nilly.
Willy-nilly. You like that? And just, skip all that stuff and have, I wish, I got to get better at this switchboard, because when you laugh, I can put a laughter in. All these missed opportunities. But yeah, we don't want to just jump into it blindly, although we also encourage that too. And one thing I was going to mention earlier that Veronica hit me on, inspired, and it's just something that I'd like to say. It's the last little bit I'll say here in this live stream. And it's just that it's all market research. It's one of my favorite lines of Veronica, favorite quotes, because there's been a lot of videos that I didn't want to publish, a lot of short videos especially, and it's market research, and this goes back to what Joe was asking us about not having an explosive personality. Well, try some market research. What happens if you take a really long time to get to your point? Can you imagine, with all this fast-paced, explosive stuff online, all of the attention grabbing, stop me from scrolling, if you just take a minute and breathe and just look at the camera? A lot of creators are experimenting with that kind of thing too. So that's my kind of 2 cents, and I really hope to see you inside the workshop. Again, it's on Tuesday, so hurry and sign up. Grab your seat now. And what else do you have to say about that, Veronica? You want to take us out of this stream?
So that you can find the link for the challenge in the description of this live stream, or
Yes.
you can go to
pss.media/challenge.
I hope I can get to see you inside the challenge. It will be so fun for me to get you started with your show. That's my bread and butter. That's something that I really enjoy, is to get people the guidance that they need. I'm like Steven said, I'm here for you. I'm going to be your guide to help you launch this amazing show here on YouTube.
Yeah, and to realistically plan and commit to your first chunk of episodes. We don't need to look 3 years from now. We're just going to look at 10, 12 episodes. Let's get those going.
Yes.
Okay, well,
Okay.
With that, we hope you have a great rest of your Saturday. Join us again here next Saturday. Subscribe to the channel so you get notified of these live streams. Maybe between 2 and 4 in the afternoon is where we're landing right now and when our live streams are going to be. So with that, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will catch you on the flip side.
Bye. Catch you on the flip side.
That's a nice expression.